Another question, Hazur, has come from Ms. Donna Russell.
Yes.
She asks, what role does, in parentheses, do women have in Ahmadiyya movement today? And a follow-up is, how do conventional values of Islam apply within the movement of today's society?
First of all, I understand it is the role in the life today played by Ahmadi women. Is that what you wanted to ask, or
what role does or do women have in the Ahmadiyya?
Yes, okay. You see, the role ascribed to women is principally the same as ascribed to men by all religions. They are equal in the sight of Allah. Only where there is a difference of some teaching in detail, it relates to the differences of the constitution of man and woman. And those differences cannot be ignored by even the most vehement advocate of women's labor and equality. For instance, the women's constitution as against men would not permit a man to conceive children and carry them in their bellies for 9 months and feed them out of their breasts. But women can, and the rules become different in that regard. And then women who bear children, they love them definitely more than men because of this long, deeper relationship of 9 months of their lovingly talking to their children, of taking care of them and sharing everything they have with their child to be. So these are the realities of life. Now such roles, as I am describing, are more appropriate for taking care of the future generations of human beings. And as such, more time must be given to women in Islam to take care of homes, to see to it that happy, healthy homes with inward gravitation and not just peripheral movement but occipital movement of the future generations, so that they are drawn from the society back to home as if a ship is drawn to its haven. That is created. And Islamic teaching regarding women is only directed at that end. Otherwise, it is wrong to say that Islam keeps women behind in anything good. I assure you, there are people who have been coming to Ahmadiyya centers because the center of Ahmadiyya lies in the Khilafat, and I here am the center of Ahmadiyya so far. So wherever I go, people come to me and inquire the same questions. So I tell them to go to the Ahmadi women and inquire them from themselves. Once I remember in Norway, something very interesting took place. There was a large gathering of question and answer, and people appeared to be drawing closer to me, agreeing more and more with my views of Islam as I expressed them. So there was one very staunch Christian lady who didn't like that. So like it happens, suddenly she got up and said, tell us more about the differences between men and women. Particularly so, tell me why your wife is not present here. I said, why don't you go upstairs and ask her? There are no chains she's bound with. It's her option. I can't enforce anything upon her. This is the freedom in Islam which I'm practicing, not the other way around. And she went upstairs, and it happened that she returned a very crestfallen lady, because it's a long story, I will cut it short. So what I'm telling you is that Islam stands for equality if the given attributes are equal. If the given attributes are different, Islam would be a very unwise religion to plead equality. For instance, in the Olympics, you never see boxing competitions between women and men in the name of equality. Do you ever see that? Do you ever see them racing together or rowing together? Name a competition where physical force is required, where men of today forget about the religion. Men of today would treat women equally. So sometimes to treat unequally is a mark of respect. Remember this. And whenever there seems to be a semblance of an unequal treatment in Islam, it is always out of respect, never without it. Thank you.
The next question, Hazur, is from Mr. Javed Malik of the News of Pakistan. His question is, what future do you see for your movement in Pakistan? How would you react to recent events like murder of an Ahmadi professor in Islamabad?
Well, the future of truth is never bleak, anywhere. This is my short answer. And with reference to Christian history, because most of the guests here are Christians, I'd point out what would be the answer of Jesus Christ when he was so mercilessly persecuted by the society around, as to what future did he see in Judea and in the world around. For 300 years, no Christian could face that question with assurance that they would emerge victorious. But they knew it. There was something in it. And their enemies also knew it, that they are bound to emerge victorious. That is the only reason of persecution. Why is Pakistan persecuting Ahmadis of all the sects in Islam, while in fundamentals we are much closer to the mainstream Muslims than so many sects of Islam? Because they don't see any sign among them of not only survival, but of victory, of emerging victorious in the end. That is the only reason which generates persecution of prophets of God and all the truthful people by their opponents. Otherwise there is no reason. Then you can say the world has gone mad. But in their madness they know things. You must realize, again with reference to the Christian history, that when Jesus came, what was his message? Well, how could he annoy any society in the world? The message was, if somebody slaps you on one cheek, offer the other one. How could you in any way injure the sentiments of any society or cause fear to be created in the hearts of any society of the world by this message? When asked for your cloak, offer the shirt as well, or the vice versa. Yet he was persecuted so inhumanly, so beastly, that seldom you find prophets of God having been persecuted like Jesus was and his followers. Why? Because despite their hostility in disagreement, they knew, they were convinced that this is a potent message. It is bound to emerge victorious. So it did. The same is true of Ahmadis in Pakistan. Do whatever they may. They will prove the point further that we, the enemies of Ahmadiyyat, see in Ahmadiyyat something, a sign which tells us, which warns us, that do something about it, or they are going to emerge victorious. My answer is, do whatever you like. We are going to emerge victorious. Thank you.
Hazur, I've been told that the rain is starting to come. There are some who have queued up at the mic in the center of the room, and I do have questions here, but since they are there at the queue, we'll entertain their question now.
You mean the rain within the hall, not outside?
Yes, inside.
Yes. But you see, you must also decide as to the propriety of continuing this meeting beyond a certain time. Because although out of courtesy, some people